So I got a super chat from Nervardia. Do you think that it's unethical to deconvert elderly people from the Jehovah's Witnesses? I did touch on this last week, so go check that clip out if you haven't seen it. I think it's titled something like, I'm coming for your grandmother or something like that. Kind of a clickbaity title, but anyway, it's really complicated. Should you basically show people that God isn't real? Should you try to deconvert older people? My answer to that is you should always try to pull Jehovah's Witnesses out regardless of age, but be careful and try to focus on the cult aspects and less so on the God aspects of it. I'll say that much. I got another super chat. We have little faith. Voice 2 did nothing wrong. Yes, it did, and it knows it did. And I was in Voice 2 earlier, and you know what they said? They said, yeah, we did something wrong. What are you going to do about it? That's what they said. They said it to me. It's messed up. I was there.
First off, from a cringy trap, Telltale, how is Katie and Alpha Force Zero doing?
They're doing pretty well. Christmas is coming up. Pretty exciting. I absolutely love Christmas, as most of you probably know. I got Christmas presents back there for her. Let's see. She is not here tonight because she's with her grandmother on Sunday nights. So, but you know what? I shouldn't even talk about what I got her because sometimes she watches these videos. So I'm just going to keep it zipped. But yeah, really, really exciting stuff. Cannot wait. I love Christmas. So
This one's coming from M. Kelly, any Christmas plans?
Christmas plans. Usually with my family, what we do is we get together and we have like a Christmas Eve party basically on the 24th. Probably 30, 35 of us, just cousins and aunts and uncles and everybody's all get together in this room and we play, Christmas games and eat Christmas food and open Christmas presents. Usually only open one present. Kylie thinks she has the one picked out that she wants to open on Christmas Eve, so I'll bring that over there. She only lives like 2 streets down from me, so my grandmother does. So, yeah, I'll bring the present over there and we'll all open it and it'll be pretty fun. I love Christmas, man.
This one is from Nucleomaniac. Do you do New Year's resolutions? And if so, what are yours?
I have not done New Year's resolutions before. I guess that's just like one of those celebrations that I never really got on board with. I don't know. I don't even know what resolution I would have. Like, I'm pretty happy with the things that are going on in my life generally and the things that I do. So, yeah, I don't know. Some people choose to lose weight or quit smoking or whatever else. But, yeah, I think I'm okay. I think I'm all right at the moment.
This one is from Fork. My family is getting retro gaming systems for our soon-to-be renovated basement. Anything you recommend? We have a PS2 with DDR pads, a N64, and the remade SNES.
That's awesome. So, some of you may be able to see behind me, I have like a gaming setup back there. I collect retro games, and actually, I have my 3DS right here. I was gonna play it before the podcast, but I didn't end up doing that. I usually play one of those games about once a year. I was saying right before this started. Right now I have A Link Between Worlds and I have Metroid Samus Returns. I'm going to give those a playthrough sometime in the near future. But anyway, as far as gaming systems that I would recommend, it really depends on the era that you grew up in. So when I was growing up, the Super Nintendo and the PlayStation were kind of my 2 big devices. And the PS2, I don't think I had a PS2. But eventually I did end up getting one. Those are really, really good systems. Nintendo 64, actually, I think it had way fewer releases than other Nintendo consoles. It had like 250 or 300 game releases or something like that. Where, say, the Game Boy had like 1,300. The NES had 1,300. The SNES had around the same. So, yeah, Nintendo 64 is really, really easy to collect for because there were so few games made for it. So if you want to complete collections, that would be a pretty decent way to go. If you wanted a complete collection, you could go with a Virtual Boy too. There were only like 16 American games made for it, I think, or 14. Anyway, another option, something that a lot of people don't think about, is if you're going for collecting, you could get a PSP, because the PSP is kind of retro, kind of not quite. But for that reason, a lot of the games are dirt cheap for it right now. Like the rarest, most expensive game for the PSP, last I checked, was like $60, versus the rarest and most expensive for the Super Nintendo, which is $20,000, or the NES, which is between $10,000 and $15,000. Point is, if you're looking for something to collect, PSP is where it's at, for sure. If you like what I do and you want to make sure I can continue to do it, you can support me in a few ways. First, you can support me on Patreon. That's probably the best way. But if you want to get something back for your support, you can check out my Teespring. I'm trying to make a shirt design for every cult I've covered. I haven't gotten every one, but I'm working on it. So check it out and see if your cult is up there. Second, you can support me by checking out my game shop. I sell controller, cartridge, and game box stands for every system from the original Nintendo and Sega Game Gear to the Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. So give that a look too. And finally, if you want to support me in some way other than monetarily, you can check out my other YouTube channels. I have a retro game channel where I answer questions like, why does Shy Guy have a mask? And why are CRT TVs the best way to play retro games? I also have the podcast where I talk about stuff I don't feel I can say on a monetized channel. And finally, I have my main channel where I talk about cults. I wish I didn't have to worry about dancing around subjects carefully in the first place, but I chose to do this as a full-time job. So unfortunately, I rely on YouTube's AdSense and on the support of patrons to continue doing the work I do. Anyways, check me out in all those places if you haven't already. Thanks for listening, guys.